Hello, my name is Eduardo and I just finished this tutorial and I'm just going to show you what we did for this tutorial. When we finish this part of this tutorial, the part number 3, we're going to have Mario now. And we have Mario running from left to side with these animations. Okay, it has a standing position and 3 frames for going to the right and 3 frames for going to the left. Also, I added some settings about the difficulty. Okay, how to modify the difficulty every time you are getting better in the score. So, and I will show you this in this tutorial, level increase. Okay, so I added this kind of mini system. So let's see the tutorial, and please don't forget to like the video before you watch the tutorial. Hello, my name is Eduardo and today I am here with a new tutorial for App Inventor or appybuilder or thunkable or Makeroid. And we're going to continue with this project about the Mario mini game, okay? Well, this project is a project that I am just remaking from one of my tutorials. And well, in the previous episode we got this thing. We have this screen, we have now the tinyDB, okay, to save a high score. And also we save the last score during the game. Basically that is the thing that we did. And today we are going to work with graphics. Today we are going to add the sprites, okay, to make it look more like Mario, because if we just have it, I just added this sprite. But of course it is not like that, okay, it's just this image, but we don't want to have this image like that. So, well, the first thing that you have to do, it is to get the sprites. Yes, just let me hide this thing. And you need to get the sprites. So it's pretty simple. You just go and find for your sprites, so you can make yours your own sprites. So in this case, I just look for Mario sprites. And then you go here, and I went to this page. That is the sprites resource. Then you just download the sheet for the players if you want, and that's it. And then when you got this image, it is something like this. You need to work with your images. I just changed the colors because I want to make it different, just for my little daughter. And that's it. I just changed and I created the I got the images for the walking cycle. I'm using the small Mario. So, and then I just have, for example, a layer for all of these sprites. Now I am using basically sprites for left, going to the left and going to the right. Yes, and you have a standing position. Then you just have 3 frames more to for the animation. For example, this is the first one that is standing, and then you just have the first, then you have the second, and finally you have the third one. Yes, and then you just return to the standing position, and you have the same for the other side. Okay, so you just get this. So it is not pretty difficult, you just need to cut everything and crop it. So I am using a very small file that is 16 times 16 pixels. Okay. Well, you export all of these graphics like individual graphics. I don't know if I have it in here. I will show you, just to show you how this thing looks. So again, give me just a second, and I have it in here. I have my original file, and that's it. Of course, it's pretty small, but if you check, this is what we have so far. Okay. Well, if you want to get these files, okay, please check the information. I have something, okay, you can donate to my PayPal account, or you can just make it yourself, that it's not very hard. It just took me like 25 minutes or something. Anyway, we return to appybuilder. We are using appybuilder today, but you can follow the tutorial with App Inventor. Well, the first thing that I did after I exported my sprites, it is import them or upload them to my project. I rename all the files like L0, that is the standing position to the left, then L1, L2, L3 for the sprites when it's walking to the left. I did the same for the right. R0, it is the file when you are standing facing the right side. Then you have R1, R2, and R3 that are the animation that when you are going to the right. So now I think we are going to need right now another clock, and we're going to call this clock animating. I guess if we didn't create Mario, I don't know which are the other clocks that we have. We have Mario clock. Well, we're going to use the other one, okay? So, but just in case, I just create it. So you have Mario clock interval. It's 12, and then we're going to see what we're gonna do. The first thing, well, as I told you, you just import this thing, and then I just assign to Mario sprite the L0 PNG. That's it. Pretty simple. Then you just go to the blocks, and we're going to start like moving Mario with this. So we can create a procedure for this. So when we go to the left, so I'm going to create a procedure, so I'm going to pause the video. Okay, well, the first thing that I did, well, remember that we have the Mario clock. I set the interval to 10. Yes, the Mario clock. Don't pay attention to the animating Mario. I think we are not going to need it. We're going to delete it just to avoid having too many clocks. So the Mario clock is set to 10. It is disabled. And then remember that we have a procedure called move Mario that is inserted in the clock. Okay. So, and it was going to check the direction. For example, if the Mario direction variable equals to right, well, we're going to run or to move the sprite, okay, 3 pixels or something, okay, in the screen. So that was the thing that we were using to move to the left, to the right. But now we are going to insert the call walking animation, this procedure. The procedure, it's pretty simple. As always, I say this. So let's check when we go to the left. First, we detect if we are going to the left. Now, we created, or we need to create a global variable called frame, the current frame. Remember that we have 3 frames. So we have the frame number 1, 2, and 3, and also the 0. The 0 is just for the standing position. Now, we have frame, this variable, and we set it to 0. Then, in the walking animation, we compare. We detect if we are going to the left or the right with this compare text in this condition. If we are going to the left and we insert another condition inside here. So if the global frame it is less than 3, okay, so that means that it gets to 3. It's going to what? If this value is like, for example, 0 or 1, it's going to increase the global frame to the next frame, that is the 2, and then when it gets to the 3, okay, it will reset again here in set global frame to 0. Now the picture will be updated every time the clock makes a cycle. So here using join, all my files or my images, in this case to the left, start with capital L, L0, L1, L2, L3. So it will change, or it will use the picture with L, and then the global frame that it will be like moving with the clock 1, 2, 3, and the extension without any space, okay, that is a PNG, point PNG. Now, if we get to 3, we want to reset or return to 1. So we're going to use, that's why we are going to reset here with this else, set global frame to 0. And then we just duplicate this procedure. Okay, we inserted if we're going to the left. If we are going to the right, we just do the same procedure. With the only change in this, we change the R. Okay, and in this case it is not capital. Okay, it's lowercase r, because I just name it like that, R, lowercase, and then global frame and PNG, and resets to 0. Okay, so basically that is the thing, and we insert this procedure, this walking animation, inside move Mario. So it is move Mario, and then we have this. Okay, so let's see what we have so far in companion. Well, we have this thing, we just press and we have Mario, and then if we press we have Mario. Now don't pay attention to the scale, it looks a little bit distorted. We're going to modify the size of Mario, of course, because remember it was like 16 pixels times 60 pixels. It is like a square, but well, I just wanted to show you this. And now if you check, it's a little bit, it looks like it's moving a lot, but it's not running a lot. So we need to change probably the number in this part. Probably with this one we can change it to 5 and to -5. Let's see if this helps a little. Yeah, it looks a little bit more natural. We're going to reduce the size, as I told you. And now probably looks a little bit so fast, right? But we can modify that. If we add another clock, we can have more control. Okay, but I guess it's okay for now. Now what is next? As I told you, we have the standing position. So the standing position, it will be like trigger when we just stop pushing the button. Okay, when we touch up. So in this case, when the right button touch up, so we go for Mario. Where is my sprite? Yes, Mario sprite, and then we're going to go here to picture, and we're going to set the picture to R lowercase r 0.png, and we do the same for the left touch up. We just duplicate this guy and we change this to to capital L. That's it. Now if we go to companion, we just try it in here. Okay, we have the standing position. I guess it looks okay. And there is one more thing. Probably we can change the scale. So let me just pause the video to change the scale. You have to go to the initialize procedures, remember, here. And well, what I did here, it was, remember that I told you that this graphic that I did in GIMP, it is like a square, it is 16 times 16. Well, in this case, I just removed what we have for the width, and then I just changed the height. I changed the height to 12%, okay? If you haven't checked this almost these procedures, please check my tutorials, the number 1 and number 2, okay? So now I changed the height to the 12% based on the size of the canvas, 12%. And then I don't need to calculate the width because I know that is a square. So I just copy the value that I just calculated here. I just copy this to make a perfect square, okay? I mean the size for Mario. Then I also changed some of the colors. So the background color, I changed the background color, and also the color of the text in the canvas using set canvas paint color. Because as I told you, this is just to show this little game just to my little daughter. Okay, so that's why I did it so pink in this part. So now I have this, and then when you press, these are the changes. Check. Mario looks much better. Now we just need to modify the coin, and we need to add some sounds, probably something in the background, probably change the buttons, and probably to make a little bit smaller the canvas, but I guess it's okay for now. It's pretty nice. It looks very nice. Of course, with the mouse it's quite difficult, but my finger it's better. Check. And there is one thing more. What about the difficulty? So let's analyze the difficulty. So remember that we have this thing that it's getting random values. So, but the random values are not very variable. They go from a range of values from 1 to 5. So we need to modify this. So we need to make it that the level it's like the more time you spend playing, so the difficulty will increase. So we're going to change these variables or these values. So how to do that? Well, just give me a second. Well, to change or to modify the difficulty, okay, we're going to make some adjustments here and reset coin. If you remember, every time we go from a range from 1 to 5, okay, a random number to get the global coin speed. Now, what I did is I created, so we have just the normal coin speed, okay, at the beginning it was set to 4, and then I just created two, the minimum coin speed and the maximum coin speed. I set at the beginning to 1 and the other one to 5. So from 1 to 5, it is going to pick a random number, okay, for the speed. Then I created another variable that is difficulty, okay, so we have three, minimum, max, and difficulty. So 1, 5, and 0. Now I just modify this, okay, so we are going to reset the coin. Every time we have collision, we're going to reset the coin, and we're going to go here and change from the minimum, select a random number between the minimum and the maximum. Now, to modify the maximum, we have to go and create a procedure for the difficulty. So now, the difficulty, it will be like this, okay? So, but this procedure, it has to be inserted here. And when Mario has collision, every time we have collisions, we are going to try to modify the difficulty, well, little by little. So I just inserted here, increase difficulty. And what this process do, okay, or procedure, it is this. So every time we have a point, okay, we are going to check this variable difficulty that at the beginning it was set to 0. So, and then it will just check if this value is less than 5, it will increase this to 1. So it will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when we get to 5, we are going to reset the variable to start again like a loop. And then we are going to modify the value. So the current minimum speed, we are going to increase it by 2. And then the maximum, it will be increased also by 2. So at the beginning, the values were like 1, I guess. Yes, it was here. Yes, it was 1. So the first time we increase the speed, it will change to 3 to 7. And then to 5, from 5 to 9. So, and it will increase the speed little by little. So, and then I also add this canvas font size, the thing that we use just to keep the same aspect in the size, in the text. And then I just change the color. And then I just show a message below the normal message in the score. And this message, it will be like level increase. And I just place it a little bit under. Okay. So basically that is the idea. So let's see this increased difficulty procedure in action. So I will play here on my phone. So we have to wait until we get to 5 if we get the message. So I have this. Now it's pretty fast because it is not reset the speed. Okay, so we need to again go in to, remember, we initialize the variable, but we need to initialize the variable in the game over. So that's why it was my mistake. So we go to game over, and we are going to reset variables. So we are going to reset the variable minimum, well, difficulty to 0. So you have to reset everything in game over. Well, we duplicate and we set the minimum coin speed to 1, and we duplicate the other one and change to the maximum, and we just set it to, I guess it was 5, right? Let me check if it was the original values. Yes, from 1 to 5. That's okay. So we reset these values, and now if we just try it again, but we need to refresh the screen because we created some things. So let's go here to 33. I refresh the screen just for the changes to be applied. So at the beginning we have this, we have some random values. I got 1 point, and check how Mario looks better now that it's like square. Of course, if we make it smaller, it would look better because this sprite it's pretty small. I like more small, okay, smaller. I will change it, right? Well, just in a little. Did you check level increase? Now it is changing the speed little by little. If I go to the next level, you can add another variable that it will be like the level. So for example, you are in level 3 or something. Oops, an add before the add. And that's it. Level increase. And now Mario it's very slow. And that's it. Okay? So basically that is the way you can add or modify the difficulty of this game. Now, as I told you, I just wanted to try Mario smaller. So that's the good idea about making your procedures here, because you just modify some values. For example, here I just change it to, what about 8? So we refresh the screen and we just check. Of course, you can make it the way you want. Oh, for me it looks more like I want. And now for the next episode, we are going to make the coin. Please, if you like this video, please don't forget to like it. Okay, please share it with your friends who are learning App Inventor. So show this game. I guess you have many options. It is not only like picking this coin, but I guess it's pretty cool, pretty interesting. We're going to add some sounds. We're going to add the coin, and we're almost like finishing this game. So my name is Eduardo. Please share it and help me. If you want these projects, okay, check my information. You can donate to my PayPal account or whatever you want. If not, just follow the tutorial. It is pretty simple. Follow the other tutorials, number 1 and number 2. So I will see you next time. Don't forget to like the video, please. Bye bye.